So we got out of bed. It was sometime after 11. I'm not quite sure the time. It was really close to 11:30 because that's when she was off for lunch. I woke Keagan up. As soon as he got out of bed, he told me he wasn't feeling very well, which he hasn't for a few days. I asked him if he was hurt or anything, or if he was in pain. He just said, "Hurt here, Michael." And so I got him to have a shower. We got into the shower, and he seemed okay, but he was paler. Like, he was pale. Like, he's a pale kid to begin with, but he was paler than normal. So he got into the shower. He asked me to get in with him and hold him in the water. That's what he does if he's sick. And I got in and held him. And then we washed and got out. And then I took him into the bedroom and I put his underwear on him. And I went to collect my things. I came back in. He was on the bed. And he was like wrapped up in a towel and his blankets. And I removed him from the bed and put him on the ground, and I checked for a pulse. I couldn't feel a pulse, but he was lolling his head back and forth and moaning. So I wasn't sure if to start CPR right away, but I made the decision that at least if I started CPR, that was the best decision to do. I immediately messaged Leanne and told her to get home quick, 911. I don't recall if she phoned me or if I phoned her, but I told her exactly what was happening. She came through the door maybe 2 minutes later, if that. At this point, I was already performing CPR on Keagan. I had him, at first he was non-responsive, but then I had him come back enough that he was lolling his head again and moaning. I continued to do the CPR, but it just seemed to make it worse. And Leanne was on the phone with 911, and the lady assured me that CPR would not worsen him. I continued to do the CPR and got him to come back one more time, and then he went all stiff, and he made a face like this, and a gargle noise, and then there was nothing there. And every time I would rub his heart or push on his heart, like palpitations, he would come back around, but I couldn't get him to come around enough, like where he was actually responsive, like he was still like, I don't know, like I want to say like a coma or something of that, like I don't know exactly. So I continued to do CPR, and I spoke with the lady on the 911 operator briefly, and I just threw the phone back to Leanne because I couldn't focus on doing CPR and talk to her at the same time. I continued to do the CPR until the paramedics arrived, and then they took over. And I just, like, the last time I gave him a breath, his belly filled up, and he just made a horrible noise, and that's when I know he died. And I tried my best to save him. I did the best I could. I couldn't bring him back. I tried so hard, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't get him back. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened in between me leaving and coming back. I don't have no idea. And I keep thinking if I just leave him, maybe he would still be here. Maybe I could have done something quicker. Maybe I should have called 911 right away, but I thought if I just started CPR, because I knew Leanne was literally a minute away, that at least if I was doing CPR, that he could be okay. I don't know what happened.
What happened after the paramedics arrived?
First, 2 police officers came in, and they advised me that what I was doing was correct, and I continued to do it. And the paramedics came in, and then they took over, and they continued to work on him in the bedroom, and we were asked to sit in the kitchen, where me and Leanne sat, crying, holding each other. They then took him out into the ambulance and continued to work on him, and they said, okay, we were going to go to the hospital, so we got in our car, and then the officer asked us to get out of the car and come back inside and wait, which is what we did. And then they said they were going to the hospital and that they would give us a ride there. And then we got to the hospital and they worked on him for, I don't know how long it was, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I'm really not sure. And then they came in and told us that he was dead and there was nothing else they could do. And then that's when me and Dan both, his father, left the hospital. And I went outside and walked around the hospital and completely freaked out. And I attempted to come back inside, but as soon as I seen my aunt's sister and Madison, I couldn't go in and face them. I couldn't tell them that I tried so hard to save him, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't face them. I don't know if I did enough or what I did hurt him. I don't know. He was my son, too. I loved him so much.
Tuesday morning, you wake up, You go get Keagan.
Mm-hmm.
You take him in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
You strip him down.
Yes.
You get him in the shower.
Yes.
Did you notice any injuries on him at that time?
Just the ones that he already had. Just the ones that he already had, and just how pale he was, and him complaining about his stomach being sore. That was it.
Okay. You didn't notice any other injuries other than the bruise on the back of his neck and on his back?
Just the neck and his back.
No other injuries?
No.
I'm going to be completely straight with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I don't play games. I've been doing this a long time.
Yes.
Okay? The reason I've asked you if you've been under stress, if you've been having problems, if there's some other reason why this would happen, is because there's no doubt in my mind that you caused the injuries that killed Keagan.
I did not cause the injuries. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to end this now then.
Well,
this interview without an attorney then.
Okay, well, at this point in time, you're under arrest for second-degree murder. Okay? You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Your rights still apply. Do you wish to call a lawyer?
Yes.
Do you know which lawyer you wish to speak to?
Yes.
Who's that?
Mr. McNeely.
I will make those arrangements, but before I do that...
I have his number here.
Before we do that, I'm going to have you searched, okay?
Fine.
And anything you have in your pockets, just put on the table.
That's it.
You pull them out for me? And back pockets.
Mm-hmm.
You just lift your pant legs up for me. Yep. Okay, thanks. Okay, just come on out this way.
Can I bring my jacket?
No, just leave it there. I'll
Can I bring his number?
Is that his justice
That's
phone
his
number?
number, yeah. I need to phone this number here.
Okay, well, I'll give that to the cells. We'll just head down this way, okay?